Welcome back to the news at 10. The Nigeria incentive-based risk-sharing system has entered into partnership with Syngenta Agrochemical Company to provide high-yield seeds and crop protection products to farmers in the country. The managing director of NIRSAL, Mr. Aliyu Abdul Ahmed, who was speaking at a meeting in Abuja, says the initiative has a target of increasing revenues and yields of farmers by over 80%.
Agriculture is one of sub-Saharan Africa's most important sectors. It contributes over 60% towards regional employment and accounts for over 25% of the region's GDP. How to drive development in this sector has been receiving a boost in Nigeria, as officials of NIRSAL and an agrochemical company are working towards enhancing the yields and revenue base of farmers.
This partnership between NIRSAL and Syngenta is designed to ensure 1. Basic business management by smallholder farmers, 2. An end-to-end agronomy practice support, 3. Crop protection protocols, and 4. Safe and effective use of crop protection products. You can see the logic here. There were 3 items first before the issue of crop protection products. And that's the beauty of this collaboration.
The regional director of Syngenta Agrochemical promised a better deal for Nigerian farmers through the disbursement of quality seeds at a discounted rate. This, according to him, is key to improving crop yields in Nigeria.
A trusted partner. Partner with global institution, partner with local institution, with private companies. Because we have realized something in the past years. We cannot do this journey alone. We have a great vision, but we need to collaborate together with successful companies that share the same passion and the same vision we have as well. So our purpose is, like was mentioned before, to support the food security.
After the speeches, officials signed the dotted lines to seal the deal. The new deal is expected to boost agribusiness in the country.
Nigerian Breweries is proposing a total dividend of 4 naira 13 kobo per share, subject to the approval of shareholders at the coming 72nd annual meeting. With a 100% payout, this marks the 3rd highest dividend in the company's history.
We want to be winning with Nigeria.
Having stood the test of time for over 7 decades, Nigerian Breweries has established itself as a formidable brewing company, the largest in Nigeria. And this success story, which is attributed to the role of its personnel and customers all over the country, is the reason for this pre-AGM conference held in Lagos. Here, the management team reels out the company's 2017 performance to journalists who take time to ask valuable questions.
We remain confident that we have the right strategy, the right people, operations and brands to keep delivering value for our stakeholders, and we are well placed to capture the value when the economy will recover.
One of the highlights is the announcement of the recommended dividend payout for the financial year ended December 31st, 2017.
The proposed final dividend is 3.13 per share. So if you take the final dividend and you take the interim dividend together, you get a total proposed dividend of 4.13 per share.
The financial performance for the year under review also turned out impressive, with total revenue at 344 billion naira and profit after tax up by 16% to 33 billion naira compared to the previous year.
If you look at the company itself, you understand it because the people in the company are so passionate. I mean, you have a lot of people with experience in Nigeria. The reputation of Nigerian brewers, it's not only in Nigeria but outside, it crossed the borders outside of Nigeria. But all I can say after 12 weeks is, having been here for a short time, I can confirm this is a fantastic company with great people and great brands.
Ahead of its annual general meeting, Nigerian Brewers PLC is reiterating its resolve to build on its successes in the Nigerian market, employing the tagline, "Winning with Nigeria."
After 21 years of its existence, the Nigerian Academy of Engineering, which is the highest engineering body in the country, has inducted Mr. Alfred Okoigun, the Group Managing Director of ARCO Group PLC, as its 4th Honorary Fellow. The event, which took place in Lagos, featured a lecture titled Engineering Innovation and Last Mile Development Towards a Synergy Between Investors and Research, and it was delivered by the former Vice-Chancellor of the University of Lagos, Professor Ibidakpo Obi.
A procession by members and fellows of the Nigerian Academy of Engineering is the start button for a very significant event which has held only 4 times in the last 21 years. To keep the ball rolling, the President, Nigerian Academy of Engineering, outlines what it takes to earn this honor.
Those who had earned the honor in the past had demonstrated that they understood the role of engineering education and profession in the development of any nation, and they have devoted their time, energy, and goodwill towards the promotion of both in real terms in our country.
The latest recipient is Mr. Alfred Okoigun, the Group Managing Director of ARCO Group PLC. But before he's formally decorated, the Group Managing Director of NNPC, Engineer Maikanti Baru, offers a brief remark.
This honorary fellowship conferment on Engineer Alfred Okoigun by the highest professional engineering body in Nigeria is a testament of your distinguished leadership.
The Academy's public lecture titled Engineering Innovation and Last Mile Development is delivered by Professor Ibidakpo Obi.
Nothing gets innovated unless it's accepted in the market. So all what we are doing in our laboratories, in our universities, is purely research and development.
The big moment arrives and the award recipient takes to the rostrum. By this conferment, Mr. Alfred Okoigun becomes the Academy's 4th Honorary Fellow, a feat he says is quite inspiring.
Any nation that does not recognize and embrace science and technology cannot grow. When is that going to happen in Nigeria? So we have to start it. So this is a challenge ahead of me and ahead of my colleagues.
The ceremony is done, and hopefully the country will explore the abundance of the wealth of experience at the disposal of its human resources in tackling its challenges. Chris Illems, Channels Television News.
Let's take a look at some business news now. Here's Anne Wilder.
You first. First Bank.
Thanks a lot, Ijoma, and welcome to Business News. The Central Bank of Nigeria has launched the Agribusiness Investment Scheme made for small and medium enterprises. The governor of the CBN, Godwin Emefiele, who was speaking at the launch in Abuja, says that this initiative is aimed at promoting sustainable economic development and creating jobs for the youth in the country.
AGSMIS has been designed to be implemented in 3 broad components, namely direct, indirect, and developmental components. Under the direct component of the AGSMIS, beneficiaries can access loans to a limit of 10 million naira at interest rate of 5% per annum and a maximum tenure of up to 7 years. There is also a moratorium period of 18 months on principal and 6 months on interest element, depending on the nature of the business. However, it is mandatory that all loans beneficiaries must have valid BVN, which shall be registered on the National Collateral Registry and used to track repayments and blacklist any defaulter.
And talking about creating more jobs and growing Nigeria's economy, the federal government has promised to support micro and small medium-scale enterprises. The Vice President, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, made this promise at the opening of a two-day MSME fair in Awka, the Anambra State capital.
6.8 million Nigerians. That's the staggering figure that the federal government says has benefited from the N-Power project of the National Social Investment Program. To continue the drive of empowering more people, especially in the micro, small and medium enterprises, the federal government train berths in Anambra State, a state with two of Nigeria's notable business hubs. For the state governor Willie Obiano, it's the convergence of a vision from two levels of government to better the economic lives of the citizenry.
If Anambra could give Nigeria the likes of Inosin, Chikasin, Ibeto, Koskaris, and so many others, and several other industrialists who emerged on their own without government or institutional support or incentive, it is only left to the imagination what this state can produce if the federal government decides to support us with a clear development and sustainable industrial plan.
When the Vice President, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, takes the microphone, he is impressed that Anambra State is running with the national plan, but wants the local agency in charge of small businesses to push the idea further. Beyond this, the federal government believes the lessons from the MSME clinics should help drive business sustenance.
I therefore expect that the agency will also consider taking forward some of the ideas and processes that have emerged from the clinics, such as, of course, the establishment of the one-stop shop here in Anambra State, a one-stop shop which has all of the different regulatory agencies. And so we are going to support the Empower scheme as much as we can, and we are bringing several others, on board. Already we are pre-selected for Anambra State alone, about 11,039 new entrants to the Empower scheme, and we hope that this second batch will be launched very, very shortly.
Earlier in the day, Professor Osinbajo took time out to visit the exhibition stand of small business owners.
The Nigerian equities market has closed on a negative note after 2 days of consecutive gains. Here's the numbers from BC Adebayo.
Hello and welcome to the stock market reports. Nigeria's equity market reversed into the red today as the all-share index declined by 0.09% to 40,808.48. Only the consumer goods sector was down 0.23%, largely driven by sell-offs in UAC properties, Champion Breweries and Honeywell Flour. The market breadth was also negative, with Courtville leading some 23 decliners. On the gainers front, the final removal of the technical suspension on Owando paved way for the bids on the security to advance the most by 10%. The banking names remain the top trade chart on account of investors' winning interest as 30 million units of UBA were traded the most on Thursday. And that's it on the stock market reports. I am BC Adebayo.
Thanks a lot, BC. And let's check how the global front tension on the Syrian situation eased a little today, lifting the American and European market. But it's quite a positive for Asian markets. Let's check out the numbers. And that's business news for tonight. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Anne Nwawadu. It's back to you, Joma.
You first. First Bank.
Still ahead on the news at 10, Team Nigeria wrestlers claim 3 medals in day 8 of the ongoing Commonwealth Games in Gold Coast. That's on Sport.